This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so Pusha T is scrambling. Okay, this guy does not. They're not selling tickets to their show. Okay, they've only sold 20%, and it's in 3 weeks. Okay, now he's looking at this like, oh, this is really Akademiks puts out the most slander towards Pusha T and Clipse, right? Because of the Drake thing. But he's looking at it, anybody who puts out slander against the Clipse, you ain't going to stop greatness, right? So it's like a warning shot. It's like Pusha T responds to the Clipse smear campaign. There's no smear campaign. Nobody's going out of their way to smear the Clipse, okay? Can't nothing stop greatness. The lies are very telling. The people will never believe them. And then he says, can't stop nothing. And then he says, let's see, people never believe these campaigns. Let God sort them out. 7-Eleven. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe their album will do big numbers. Maybe it won't. We will see. I don't know. I can't call it, you know? I can't call it. I know it's going to be good, but I just can't call it. So now there is, let's see, something happened with Faith and the estate of Biggie. Let's read this right here. So something was filed in court over, and so Biggie's mom passed, but she had sold his music catalog before she passed, and it went to the estate. It's a revocable trust. So a trustee of the Voletta Wallace Revocable Trust brings action against Faith Evans for her wrongful takeover of a Delaware limited liability company owned 50% by the trust. So I guess she took control of it. Let's see. Miss Barrow, manager of the trust advisor. Biggie also worked closely with Miss Wallace for decades and played a central role in helping manage the LLC to preserve her son's legacy. In 2020, Miss Wallace appointed Miss Barrow as trustee of her trust and the executive of her estate. At the same time, Miss Wallace, who owned 50% interest in the LLC, assigned an entire interest to the trust, which was permitted transferee under LLC's operating agreement. The 50% of the LLC not owned by the trust is held by defendant Faith Evans. Miss Evans was married to Notorious B.I.G., but was in the process of divorcing him at the time of the death. Miss Wallace and Miss Evans were co-manager of the LLC. However, Miss Evans played little to no role in its management and was not involved in the day-to-day operations, which were handled exclusively by Miss Wallace and Mr. Barrow, sorry. Miss Wallace died on February 21st, 2025. The trust's interest in the LLC will ultimately be distributed to Christopher Wallace Memorial Foundation. Following Miss Wallace's death, Miss Evans seized control of the LLC by refusing to recognize the trust as a 50% member, or she wrongfully withheld the trust's share of the net sale proceeds to the amount of blank amount. She also has assigned documents confirming the trust holds a 50% membership interest in the LLC that Mr. Barrow serves as the trustee. Miss Evans initially claimed that she was not aware of the trust membership and questioned the existence of the trust and Mr. Barrow's authority to act on its behalf. These trusts get nasty. If they're not set up properly, they can get nasty. She failed to provide Mr. Barrow with access to the LLC documents, kept him entirely in the dark, And, they can be liable for being responsible for the trust. So, this had to be done a certain way. Faith has been living off this trust, too. Let's make that clear. Too. Turk responds to BG. Turk said, what did he say? His album's better than BG's or something like that, or he's rapping better than something like that. I can't remember what it was. And BG laughed it off and said, Turk doesn't even believe that. He's just trying to promote Well, Turk responded and he says, hey man, you ain't been hot since, what was the song? Gold Teeth. Gold Teeth Jizzle came out. When he came home, he dropped a song. Then he challenged BG to put a song, like a verse on one of his songs to, see who's better. Turk needs to stop. BG is way better than Turk. We know that. Turk's respected as being part of the Hot Boys, but the best members was Juvenile, Lil Wayne, BG. Turk was along for the ride, and he had some songs. He did. He had some classics. But hey. And, Hot Boy Turk only has 3,000 monthly listeners. Turk, which is obviously the Cash Money one, right? Because there's two. There's Hot Boy Turk, that's independent Turk. And then there's Turk, which is Cash Money Turk, right? BG has almost 300,000 monthly listeners. Turk has 3,000. So it's different. It's just different. Drake, What Did I Miss, is now aiming for a top 2 debut on the Hot 100, including midweek projections. Drake didn't miss a full day of tracking. What did I miss? If Drake didn't miss a full day of tracking, it would be on pace for number 1, meaning Drake would surpass Michael Jackson's Billboard record. NBA YoungBoy was spotted in Paris. He's in Paris right now. I don't know what I guess he's on tour. 50 Cent takes Bryson Hall, co-star of this film that 50 Cent wanted to start. He's taking him to court. I don't know. 50 Cent's like petty. He didn't get his way with shutting the film down. So now he's just taking everybody to court. I don't know. I don't even know if Bryson Hall is like investor in it. And lastly, we got Diddy. So, breaking news on this, a judge released the letter saying, basically, that he requests for both sides to send in other cases similar to Diddy's case and his criminal history, which he has no criminal history. They can either send in the cases or find other inmates who were sentenced at a base offense level under the guidelines. It seems so the judge is basically saying here, he says, hey, I'm not going to throw the book at you. He's a Category 1 offender. So basically, he's looking at a sentencing of 15 to 21 months, right? It says, now, it all depends on whether each charge is back-to-back, concurrent, or consecutive. If it's consecutive, goes back in, right, for another year, right? If you run them together, which I assume they would be, right, because he has no priors, he would walk. And they would probably give him some probation, okay, you got to be good for this amount of years, right? And they'll take it. The judge will probably throw that in there, too. You can't just let them loose as a goose, right? But, we'll see what happens with that. Hey, this is what they charged him with. Blame the prosecution. It's their problem. They're the ones who undercharged him. And he fought his good fight. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.